and I've got a eggplant here, a red pepper, hello, and a green pepper, and and an onion. I knew I had one. Now this is not a small onion, but we'll pretend. We won't put that much in. We won't put that much in. When I was shopping this morning, I went down and just picked out what I could. So I thought, that might be a little bit big, but we'll cut it. Okay, and I did use the other half of the eggplant in our samples, but I thought instead of cutting it up, if anybody is not familiar with eggplant, I thought I would go ahead and cut that for you. That's what it looks like inside, little seeds. You don't need to take those out. And I just peel it with a vegetable peeler. And we're going to cube this. Yeah, it says one small. This is a pretty big eggplant. So is it small, or it says a cup a cube. So if you can find a small one, you know, this is going to be a little bit more than a cup, but that's okay. Okay, and I just like to slice it this way. And this way, and that makes nice little cubes. And this gives a little bit, you still have your eggplant. It's not in eggplant parmesan, whatever. That seems to be now that's a little bit more than a cup, but we'll go ahead with that anyway. And our red pepper. I think that if you're cutting up all these vegetables, you might as well use them all. This is one where you only use half of the box of puff pastry. So that's what the recipe calls for. You'll have enough vegetable mixture to do both halves. Okay, I'll just kind of slice this up. And I think we'll go ahead and get started heating our oil. And we need 2 tablespoons of olive oil right here. That's what we're going to use, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I've already made the egg wash, which is 1 egg and a tablespoon of water. Just kind of put the whole egg in here, out of the shell of course, and just kind of mixed it up. So that's going to go on the top of our puff pastry when that's done. We've got, this is about 2 cups of sliced mushrooms. I like to buy them sliced. If you want to buy them whole and slice them up, have at it. I like to use convenience items when we can, and I think there's some things that are convenient but more expensive, and is it worth it? I personally feel that's worth it. If you don't, that's fine, and you've got the time to slice up mushrooms, you know, I think that's great. That's all about you know, the convenience items that we have. Some are in the processed foods, which you really want to, you know, are good for certain things or for limited, having limited quantities of it. But then there's other convenience items that, yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they do save you time for doing something else. And I think that having the mushroom sliced is one good way to do that. You know, the other couple of products I like are, of course, the broccoli slaw, which we've used a lot of, because it's already done for you. And now, in the times that we have, we're so busy, and now, especially coming into the summer months, you don't want to spend all the time in the kitchen. You want to be out in the yard or in the garden or reading a book, whatever. I was going to say in the garden, that's not me. All right, like I said, this is a large onion. We're only going to use part of it. And I think the Vidalia onions are just about to come in, as well as strawberries. So we're going to start getting some, let's take another layer off here. Start getting some great produce here. Okay, we'll go ahead and put some of this in. Now this is a little bit of a make-ahead recipe, or you have to think ahead, because you do need to cool this vegetable mixture down to room temperature before you put it in the puff pastry. And that's just so you're not cooking the pastry before you have it in the oven. That looks like about a small onion. What do you think? Okay, now we're just going to let that cook. We've got a little bit of garlic here, I believe 2 teaspoons. We'll put that in a minute. And some basil. And I like this, buy it in the produce department. It's more like fresh than the dried. They really are. I wish they're... it comes, I think we carry basil, and we might have dill, and yeah, and it is good. It's more like fresh. They're in the produce department. I believe right now they're right by the sampling station. And they only come, I think there's only about 4 different varieties of these. I think there's a whole lot that's, you know, available but the company, but they send it in, oh here. They send it in a shipper already. Okay. And you do use it like, you know, it's not got any preservatives in it. You do use it like fresh. So if you're doing the changeover from fresh to dried, make sure that you know, look at this. Like they give you the instructions here. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator. Use like fresh. 1 teaspoon of freeze-dried to 1 teaspoon of fresh. Okay. Whoop. All right, now this is going to release a little bit of moisture. As it's down, it's not jumping out. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and put our garlic in because it smells great when you're cooking it, and our basil. Let that cook a little bit, and we'll go ahead and get our pastry ready. All right, this puff pastry is a wonderful product. You not only can make dessert type things out of it, but you can also make, we've used it before, savory things too. I'm going to get rid of this board. A minute. Oops.